I dumped my best friend today. Kay has recently had a baby and I ended up looking after her dogs. One was fat, otherwise healthy and indoors. One small, elderly dog, Pally, was kept outdoors all the time. She was moved to an outdoor dog because she toileted inside. A kennel flooded 3 inches of with rancid green water was her only shelter. She slept on a wet bed in the rain. It's winter here at the moment. Pally was emaciated in line with the worst of the worst you see on animal rescue shows. I spoke to Kay and told her she had to feed the dog 4 small meals a day. She complained that it was a lot of work. Apparently they have done this to a dog in the past. Pally had previously been owned by a mutual friend of both of us, G. She has since been reacquired by G. In 3 days she has not toileted inside. She came home yesterday. I just went out, handed her back her keys, and dumped her. The conditions the dog were in were disgusting. I can't tolerate it. It's an absolute deal breaker for me. I wish you the best with your baby, I really do. But don't call, don't text, don't visit. And I walked off. She was speechless. My dad keeps making homemade fries and I feel very guilty. Okay, not as serious as other posts on here, but here goes. So my dad hasn't been very present in my life. He's autistic. I am also autistic. But he's very socially awkward, distant, quiet, etc. Never talks about his feelings. Never gives words of affection or compliments. I'm his youngest child and only daughter. I've lived in his house for 8 months now. I was taken away from this house at the age of 12 because of neglect, but moved back in at the age of 22 because the house I moved into had been abusive. He cried when I first came here. He gave me a hug. I have not seen him be like that since. We very rarely talk and stay in separate rooms. This week, my dad decided to make homemade fries. He randomly came into my room with a plate of them. They are nice. However, the next day, he asked me if I wanted homemade fries again. I said yes, because this is obviously his way of showing affection and I think he likes cooking. I didn't manage to finish the plate. Today, which is the day after, he came into my room with homemade fries again. I did want something else for dinner. I bought bacon earlier, but I couldn't say no. I don't think I can finish the plate again. This is 3 days in a row. He just comes in, gives me the plate, then leaves and sits back in his room. We literally don't interact other than this. I am also very socially awkward Lamau. He lets me know each time that there's salt on them, because he knows I like salt. I feel so guilty. This is his way of expressing affection. I know he loves me. But I cannot have homemade fries every night for the rest of my life. How do I say no when by doing that I would be rejecting the only form of affection he has given me in a decade? I don't want to hurt him. He lost his own dad this year. The funeral was only in January. I know he was very upset by it, as much as he never showed it. I don't want to feel like I'm rejecting him. Frown. I do really like his fries. Just maybe not every day. What do I do? My girlfriend told me that she doesn't feel the love that intensely towards me. It's weird because this was really sudden. We have been dating for about 1.5 years now. I was out of the country for the past few months. But our relationship got stronger than ever. We used to communicate daily and everything was perfect. We even talked and acknowledged how we are fairly good at communicating our feelings and needs and everything that made our relationship go really smoothly. We have never really gone through anything before. It has always been smooth, most of it. I got back last week and we meet and she was really happy to see me. Likewise, we used to count days before we could meet. Started at 154 days lol. 3 days earlier she called me and discussed this with me, and also broke down on the phone. I tried to be as supportive as I could like I always am. This is the 4th day and she's really concerned about how she doesn't feel that intensely towards me. We even talked about it in person but nothing changed really. She tells me not to worry and is herself scared if she is about to lose feelings. I understand that human emotions don't work that way. You can't suddenly shut off feelings like that. Personally I am a pretty calm guy, but this is kinda scary though. I have never been in a relationship this good and like I have never been this vulnerable before, even in relationships longer than this one. Wishing to not take the L. I ruined my wife's pregnancy/birth experience with our last child. My 37 meters, wife 37F has various medical conditions that make pregnancy hard and risky. Due to this she was put on bed rest for the majority of the pregnancy. We have 3 other kids, 6 twins, and a 3 During the pregnancy she needed help with everything: walking, bathing, getting food, going to the bathroom, and I snapped and she kicked me out, and when she let me back she hired a caregiver and told me not to bother. She hasn't mentioned it outside of therapy, but I know she looks at me different now. She doesn't ask me for help anymore. If it comes to something she needs she figures it out. She used to ask me to grab things on the top shelf, or lift a box or give her a massage. It's been 8 months since the birth. She doesn't anymore. I think I'm losing my wife. My wife and I, both mid-40s, found our old high school yearbooks while cleaning the basement today, and wow, I've forgotten just how far out of my league I married up. We didn't meet until college. Even then, I asked her out on a whim, fully expecting her to laugh me off. But she didn't. We dated for 4 years, got married, bought a house, had 3 kids, and now live a happy life. But seeing her high school pictures, compared to my high school pictures, and you would never think that a guy like that would ever end up with a girl like that. I'm not just saying that because I'm supposed to. She will never read this. She seriously could have had any guy she wanted, and she had plenty of guys after her before she met me, too. Me? I never even held hands with someone else before I met her. I was so used to rejection that I was immune to feeling anything from it. I thought she'd be just another rejection, but she wasn't. She's actually upstairs right now, taking a shower. I should join her. The kids are occupied. They won't notice.